Whether you're a distance ed student taking all of your courses online or living in the dorms and taking all of your classes on campus, you'll probably interact with D2L quite a bit in your time as a student. So here's what to know and here's how to get started. If you've never been in D2L before and you haven't found it yet, the way to get to it is on the SRU homepage. If you click on the My SRU button in the upper right, it will take you to the login screen, and after you've signed in, the link to enter D2L is going to be in the left here. It says Rock Online, but most faculty and staff call it D2L. So, and you can see it's powered by D2Ls right there. So clicking on that will take you in. Um, Another way to get to it is if you type in the web address d2l.sru.edu, and go there and enter in your Slippery Rock info, that will also log you in. Once you're signed in, the D2L landing page has some useful bits on it. On the right here, you're going to see links for your classes. And after you've been here a while, it's going to put all of your semester courses under a different tab by semester. Now, this is not meant to represent your official schedule. Once you've registered for a new semester, some of your classes may show up on D2L right away, others may not. Some faculty don't open up their D2L courses until the first official day. So if you've registered for a new semester and you're looking under the tab for it and you don't see all of your classes, don't worry. They're probably just under construction. This is in no way meant to be understood as like a transcript or anything like that. You might have a course disappear and then reappear because the professor is working on it and they want to close it and then reopen it. If the first official day of a new semester has begun and you still don't see a course here, then by all means get in touch with the help desk and let us know. So you're going to see links for all your courses. Otherwise, when you add and drop, they will appear and disappear automatically, and you can only access the courses you've registered for. On the left here, earlier I mentioned how to get help. Down here in the center, we have the email address on how to get help with D2L and technology. We can't help you with your classwork, but if you need tech help, edtech at SRU, there's a number to call if you need help on evenings and weekends with operating D2L and technology, things like that. We have a tip sheet for how to use D2L here. Guides and how to get help are going to be on the front page here. You may need to scroll a little bit to find it. Down here, yeah, we have all kinds of guides on how to operate D2L, how to use Zoom, things like that are going to be on here. Depending on when you're watching this, this might not look exactly like this, but this is where you get help. This is where you find how to do stuff. Up here above, where you see the picture here of this fake student, you can add your picture to your D2L profile. If you click the profile button here, you can attach a picture to your account on D2L. D2L is not like Facebook where you can search any student in the university. So if you fill this stuff out, only students in the classes that you're taking, only your actual classmates can look at this stuff. So this isn't totally public, but it's not totally private either. So D2, they have some silly things, and you can put a link to your Facebook, your Google, your LinkedIn. You can put in your major, your minor, your graduating class, interest, hobby, stuff like this. Your professors can read this if you're in a class of theirs, and your classmates can read this stuff. So don't put anything too sensitive or private in here. Like I said, you can't browse. This isn't visible to the whole university, but stuff that you add here is visible to your classmates and classes that you might have with them. And if to add your picture, you just click change picture or add picture if you haven't done it yet. And you can just upload from your computer any selfie that you might have. I'm going to close out of that. So that's how you fill that out. Another useful thing in here is under this button that says notifications. This is where you can get the D2L app. As the semester goes by and you have more and more classes, you might find Some of your professors use it a lot, and they're posting things a lot and updating grades, and doing things like having quizzes on D2L, having assignments that are due on D2L with due dates and things, and you might get tired of checking it to see if there's anything new. For Android and Apple, D2L has an app. It's called Pulse. Brightspace Pulse is the name of it. Brightspace is another name for D2L. If you come in here and follow these links, that'll take you to the download for the free D2L app, and what it'll do is D2L will push updates to your tablet or your phone, so you don't have to check it all the time. Students find this pretty convenient if there's a new grade posted, things like that. If you have something coming up that's going to be due, students tend to like this. It's pretty handy. Down here below, they have other options. You can register your mobile telephone. Select your country, select your carrier, and then put in your mobile address. And you can ask D2L, if you set this up, to send you a text of, a new grade, a Dropbox is going to be due, you have a new grade posted. That seems to be the most popular one. You have a new grade posted, or you have something coming up that's due in the Dropbox, or you have a quiz on D2L that's going to be due soon. You can set this up to either email you reminders or text you reminders. Students, you have to come in here to set this up, so you opt into these things, so you decide how much you want D2L reminding you or not. Anymore, most students, they just get the app. If you don't want the app, you can register your your mobile number, and D2L will text you when due dates are coming, or you have a new grade, or there's something new to look at. So notifications, handy stuff in there. In any case, down here, getting back to the courses, they're going to be organized by semester. If you've just registered and you have a future semester show up on here, you might not see all your courses right away. Don't worry. So I'm going to go into a course here and show you what it looks like when you get into a course. On the home page of the course, the professors can post news items for you to read. This calendar box on the right here is pretty useful because it will collect due dates for you. So quizzes can be taken on D2L. They might ask you to upload something to the Dropbox, type it up, write something, submit it to the Dropbox, or participate in a discussion. This will collect all the due dates for you, so they're visible here too. If you don't have the app or don't want the app, that's on the front screen. That's pretty handy. Another handy thing up here is if you look under the class list, this will show you your classmates. And you can see the pictures here. I showed you how to add the picture earlier. If you click on someone, if you click on their picture, it'll take you to their profile. That's me actually, and see your major or minor. This is all optional stuff to fill out. Some professors will ask you, hey, can you at least add a picture to help me learn your faces? So faculty like this because they can have a visual roster. And if you're not sure who your professor is, if you click roll here, it'll sort and put the faculty at the top, and you can see, oh, there's my professor. It's that person. And if you want also in here, you can check off the name of your professor and email your professor. That will go to their SRU email address, and it will come from your SRU email address. This just taps into the email system. And odd thing about this is that the send button is at the top, not the bottom. So you can email your classmates, look up who your professor is. It is possible, at the date of this being recorded, you can email all of your classmates. If you do this check at the top here, use that lightly if ever. If you email some of your classmates, maybe you're in a group with them, things like, hey, you want to get together to study, stuff like that. If you check that off and hit email here, you can do that. It'll look up your classmates' email addresses. It puts them in the BCC line because we do not want the big reply all chains going on, if you've ever heard of those. So BCC, so to keep students replying all and spamming all their classmates, BCC is the default there. So Class list is handy for seeing who your classmates are and who's your professor. Um, Next thing that you're going to be most interested in D2L is under this button here at the top that says content. This is where your professors are going to put most of their stuff that they've prepared for you. Handouts, PowerPoints, links out to things on the internet, the syllabus, all kinds of things like that. It's all going to be mostly going to be found under the content. Every D2L site's a little different. All faculty use it a little differently, but this is a typical example. Here on the left here, you have what the D2L calls these modules. These are just like folders of stuff. Some faculty will organize them by week. Some will just have a thing that says, PowerPoints, and they'll have all the PowerPoints in there. It'll look different depending on who your professor is. If you click Table of Contents here, this just shows you everything on one screen. But if you click on the names of the folders here, it'll just show you that folder. So in this case here, the professor has a start here where they put basically syllabus kind of stuff, course information, university policies. And if you click on one of those, this is a Word document, it'll show it to you right inside the web browser. Now if you want, you can just read this and carry on with life, but if you want to print this off, do not try to print this page right here. If you do, bring up a print and do that here. What'll happen is it's just going to give you the slice of the document that's showing right now. If you want to print this out, you got to come down here and click print or download. And then what you can do then is it'll download the original file, and then it'll open it up in Microsoft Word. It's in my other screen here. It'll open up in Microsoft Word, and then you can print from here. If you try to print this screen as you see it, it will only give you this little slice here, and you won't get the whole document. And then what D2L has in mind is once you've read something, there's the forward and back buttons here. If you click forward, it will take you to the next item, and in this case it's the grading policy and other course policies. You can go to the next item, and then here's a little bit about the professor, and then if you hit next again, you've hit the end of that module and it takes you to week 1. So you can see start here, it says 100% 3 of 3 items visited. That means I've pulled up every one and I've looked at everything there is to look at. That's what this bar means. This has nothing to do with your grade or anything. This just means, hey, you haven't missed anything in here, you've looked at everything. Is the meaning of this bar. And then under week 1, the professor has an introduction telling you what to do for the week, and then below you can get started by opening the first item. If you're taking an online class, very critical, read everything posted to the week's module. Don't skip anything. Before you get excited and go to the Dropbox or the quizzes and start doing work, read everything they have posted in here and read it in order. So in this case, another thing that D2L will do is, here's a PowerPoint show, and the same thing as before goes. D2L will let you scroll through the slides, but if you want to print these, you got to come below here and click the download button. This button here also works print. You hit print or download. It'll save it onto your computer. It'll open it up for you in PowerPoint, and then you can print it off from here, and you'll get all the slides. And you can do the settings if you want to have note pages, how many slides per page. That's the way to do it. Or if you want to take this to go. D2L, if your professor's PowerPoint has narrations on it or animations, it can't do those either. So if you see a little speaker in the corner, that means there's narrations on it, and you will have to download it out and open it up in PowerPoint to be able to view everything properly and hear the narrations. And D2L does other stuff too. So here's another Word document, and faculty will make copies too in this case. Put on here. And things like that. So that is basically what you need to know about the content. You can see I've got only part of the way through the things in this week. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. It's just reminding me, hey, you've only visited 4 of the 8 things in here. Another thing to be mindful of are the dates that D2L has on here. So if I go into week 2, Here's the introduction. Here's that bar that tells me how many things I've visited, but I can't click on any of this stuff. If you run into this, that's normal. If you pay attention up here, it says starts on June 1st. So that means you can't open any of this stuff until June 1st, but it's showing you what's in there, so maybe you can plan ahead on what you're going to have to do that week. This is being recorded on May 28th, so next week I'll be able to open this stuff and work ahead. So, and then same thing with here, June 7th, I'm allowed to open these things. So be mindful of those little dates there. To keep in mind what you can open and what you can't open. So that is part one of the basics of D2L. There will be more videos in this playlist on how to take quizzes, how to submit to the Dropbox, and how to participate in the discussions, and all the good things we have for you. So that is part one of